Math 152 Lesson 15, which is Computing Simple Interest and Maturity Value. In this lesson, you are ought to solve simple interest problems and compute the maturity value of a simple interest. Let's have an introduction. When someone borrowed money, say in any business institution or group, they charge an amount for the duration of the time one uses the money. This amount is called interest. The amount of money borrowed is called the principal amount. The length of the lending period is called the term, which starts from the origin date and ends on the maturity date. The amount of money that the borrower should pay off until the maturity date is called the maturity value, or the sum of the principal amount and the interest earned. Typically expressed as an annual percentage of the loan outstanding. Interest can be simple or compound. So these are the three formulas you're going to use in this lesson. Let us start with the definition, then followed by real-life examples for simple interest. To start off, simple interest is an interest computed on the amount the borrower received at the time the loan is obtained and is added to the amount when the loan becomes due. Thus, simple interest is computed only once for the entire time period of the loan, or in other words, interest earned or interest paid in simple interest scheme is the amount that the investor will earn or the amount that the borrower should pay more than the principal after the agreed term. Say for example, what is the interest earned after 5 years if 150,000 is placed in a time deposit that earns 5.2% simple interest? What is asked in this problem or in this situation is the simple interest after 5 years, or denoted by I. So in order for us to solve for the simple interest, let's plug in first the given data. So we have a principal of 150,000, a rate of 5.2%, or equivalent to 0.052 in decimals. So we need to convert the percent form into decimals for it to be computable. So that is moving the decimal point 2 places to the left, or omitting the percentage form or the percent symbol, and then divide it by 100 for it to be in decimal form, and a time of 5 years. So we're going to use the simple interest formula. I equals the product of principal, rate, and time. So that would be equal to principal is 150,000 multiplied by rate of 0.052 multiplied by 5 as its time frame. So the answer would be 39,000 pesos. Therefore, the interest earned is 39,000 pesos. For example number 2, we're going to unlock first the word maturity value. Maturity value is the amount payable to an investor at the end of a debt instrument's holding period or maturity date. For most bonds, the maturity value is the face amount of the bond. For some certificates of deposit and other investments, all of the interest is paid at maturity, or we can say that it is the amount received or paid after the maturity date. Similarly, the future value is the amount received or paid after the end of a term. So in simple interest, don't be confused, maturity value and future value are the same. It is denoted by letter F. Example 2. Calculate the total amount you need to pay if you borrowed 45,000 pesos from a lending institution at 11% simple interest after 3 years. So what is asked in the problem, or what are we looking for, is the future value or the maturity value. So in order for us to determine it or to compute it, we have to plug in first the given data. With a principal of 45,000 pesos, a rate of 11% or 0.11 in decimals, and a time of 3 years. So we're going to use two solutions here. It has two solutions. We'll go solution 1. We'll use the simple interest formula, or it is the sum of the principal and the interest. So first we have to solve for the interest earned. So that would be the product of principal, rate, and time. So 45,000 multiplied by 0.11 multiplied by 3 will yield to 14,850. Then we're now able to compute the future value. So that is adding the principal and the interest earned. So that is future value equals 45,000 plus 14,850 for a total of 59,850. The second solution will use the formula F equals P multiplied by 1 plus the product of R and P. So that would be the principal is 45,000 multiplied by quantity 1 plus the product of 0.11 and 3, which is the rate and time. And it will yield to the same answer, which is 59,850. Therefore, the total amount you need to pay is 59,850 pesos. For example 3, we have to unlock first the word present value in simple interest. It is considered as the initial amount or the amount at the beginning of a term. So there are a list of formulas you will going to use in simple interest problems. Example 3, we have if after 10 years of investing 5.5% annually at simple interest and found out that your invested money is already 235,350 pesos, how much is your original investment? In this example, we're looking for the present value, or what we call the principal. Again, present value or the principal is the money in the beginning of the term. So we're looking for present value. So in order for us to compute it, we have to plug in first the details or the data. Time of 10 years, rate of 5.5%, which is equivalent to 0.055, and a future value or maturity value of 235,350. So in order for us to solve the original investment, that is P is equal to F divided by 1 plus RT. This is shown in the previous slide a while ago. So evaluating it, it would be 235,350 divided by 1 plus the product of rate and time. Rate is 0.055 and time is 10. So that is equal to 151,838.71 pesos, or 151,838 pesos and 71 cents. Therefore, the initial investment was 151,838 pesos and 71 centavos. That's it for lesson 15. Have a good day, class.